It is Sunday morning, and you know what that means. Football is back. Browns football returns. We are ready to go. I got a full Browns Bengals preview. We're going to beat them kitty cats today as well. Parlay party. The big ticket's back, baby. We're going to be running down, create maybe 12, 13, 14, 15 leg parlay, see if we win some big money. And of course, the fantasy football questions and answers you need starts, sits, hashtag Ask Andy. Get those fantasy football questions in. Let's start the show.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara, the sickest Cleveland Browns podcast.
Chubb runs, he's to the 10, 15, he's to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. There goes Chubb, he's to the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Chubba Lubba Hub.
It's gonna be sick.
There we go, everybody. And yes, I refuse to let go of the Nick Chubb, Jimmy Donovan intro. I'm going to do it. I'm trying to wean myself. I couldn't bring myself to do it yet because, Nick Chubb is starting for the Houston Texans this week. I still can't believe it, but that's what we're going to do. We'll get out of that, but more importantly, it is Browns and Bengals home opener for Cleveland. Everybody, as usual, and in most years, rightfully so, are writing off the Browns. But not here. Not me. Not today. Make sure you're following the show. Click subscribe. Notifications on. Jump in the chat. I love the people's chat line right here. We're going to have everybody popping. Fantasy football questions, big bets, questions, answers, thoughts, opinions, whatever we got. Look at that. We already got Griff in the house, baby. YWC Football Talk. We're so back. We made it. Damn right, Griff. We're back, baby. I'm ready. Make sure you're following us on X, on Twitter, at SickPodBrowns, at AndyMC81, Instagram as well, at AndyMCSports, and TikTok, at AndyMCSports as well. We're going to have, after each Browns game, my instant game reaction. We'll pop it on all those. So make sure you jump in. Leave me your reactions as well. Guest today, going to be a special one, all the way from Las Vegas. Sportsbook director for DraftKings, the DraftKings Sportsbook director, Johnny Avello, is going to join us in about 20 minutes time. Go over some trends, what to look for today, where the betting money's in, maybe where we can find a little loophole here and there and try to win some cash. I'll tell you this. I want to start right now with, Ryan's already popping. There you go. Rick is in the house. T-Wolf in the house. Thunderwolf. I love you guys. Amazing. Look, I want to start with a best bet that came, and I was looking for this bet for 2 days, and it came in this morning. I got a DM from my guy, Nick Earnshaw, who's a reporter for 97.3 ESPN out of New Jersey and the Philadelphia area, a guest on the ESPN radio every week with my buddy Josh Hennig. But Nick messaged me because I was on with Josh yesterday. I said, I can't find a Raheem Sanders anytime touchdown, and I want it, and I need it, and I think that is big money today. And I'm looking, he sent it to me. He said, Andy, it's finally up plus 1,700 anytime touchdown for Raheem Rocket Sanders for the Browns. $5 bet pays out 90. How about it? This is what I'm thinking. You got Quinshon Judkins. Now, the news, of course, as we talk Browns Bengals here, the news being that Quinshon Judkins finally signed 4-year guaranteed contract. That came down yesterday. That's done. But we're still waiting on potential NFL discipline. And we know the NFL judge Roger Goodell can pretty much do whatever he wants, right? Criminal charges were waived and he's cleared of this and that. NFL can still think you did something wrong, depending on whatever their investigation is. So we don't know if Quinshon Judkins is going to be suspended, and if he is, for how long. What that all means for today, Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern, at Huntington Bank Field in Cleveland, Ohio, God's country, against the Bengals. It means that we're going to have a backfield committee for the Browns. And fantasy football-wise, by the way, get your fantasy questions in. I know we got a couple in the chat already, but we will get to those. Hashtag Ask Andy. Fantasy football questions in. We'll answer them live. We'll keep you updated on all injury notes and start sits and all that stuff. But what it means for the Browns backfield today is it's a full-fledged committee. Jerome Ford, Dylan Sampson. Are they going to wash each other out a little bit? Probably. Raheem Rocket Sanders is the big back because Ford and Sanders are not in between the line tackles, right? They're space guys. Zippy. Need the pitch, catch, outside run, whatever. But you need a goal line in between the tackles, go for those first downs type of thing. That's where Raheem Sanders come in. A big back. 6 feet, 6'1", 200 plus pounds. This to me, if it's a goal line and you're looking to punch it in, that's what he is here for. He's not going to be running for 150 yards. We don't want any of that, but we want the anytime touchdown. I think that is an absolute money bet. Plus 1,700 right now on Raheem Sanders anytime touchdown. That is up. Thanks again to Nick Earnshaw from ESPN Radio for popping that my way. We got Thunderwolf saying, Samson intrigues me. I want to see what he's got. I'm with you. Look, I think he's a great prospect. I love the option of like a Thunder and Lightning 1-2 combo with Judkins and Samson, with Ford kind of as the third guy as the season goes. But as a full-time back, he's not it. Now, could he be, for fantasy football purposes, fantasy relevant? I'm talking about Samson today in PPR specific. I think there's a world of that. Sure. I think there is, because remember, for the Browns, really the weapons are going to be Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku, and then anyone else who wants to step up. So Samson could get that, but he will be splitting with Jerome Ford. So it's a bit of a question, but he's very quick. Got those quick cuts. I like what I see out of him, but again, it's going to be a full committee. Ryan, you know what? You got in right off the bat. Let's do a fantasy one right here. Let's do a fantasy question. Shane, bring it up from Ryan. What do we got? It says, top of the morning, Ryan. Good Irish opening. Standard league. Which running back? And make sure you get those in. Hashtag Ask Andy, right? On Twitter, X as well, at AndyMC81, at SickPod Browns, Instagram, at AndyMC Sports. Top of the morning, standard league. Which RB should I start as a flex? Tavion Henderson, Tyrone Tracy, Nick Chubb, Krosky Merritt, and why would you start them? Excellent question there. Look, this Jacory, call me Bill, Krosky Merritt hype, I'm not fully understanding. This is a 7th round draft pick. He popped in some way, but you still have Chris Rodriguez, who they like. You still have other factors in Washington. You still have Austin Eckler. So, I'm taking Krosky Merritt out. Oh, my boy Nick Chubb. Boy. What is Nick Chubb? This out from this week, Nick Chubb and Dameon Pierce were splitting RB1 carries. What I really need to see in live game action, what Nick Chubb looks like and has left in the usage before I'm comfortable starting him. So we're going to pause on Nick Chubb. Okay. He's going to get some chances, but I'm a little torn. You got Tyrone Tracy, and I'm just wondering, because I'm really down on the Giants because the Giants stink. But with the defense being so good for New York and then putting a real focus on it, I'm wondering if Tyrone Tracy has a chance, if the Giants can keep things close with the defense, to have more of a grinded out type of role and be used more in the running game if the Giants can keep it close. That, again, is a storyline I want to explore throughout the year. Week 1, give me Tavion Henderson, man. Travion Henderson. Let's go. I think he's looked sharp. I think he's going to be a big part of this team. High draft pick spent. We know Vrabel in New England, old school. You want to compliment Drake May? You get your nice Travion Henderson in there. I think Henderson's going to have opportunities. I think you're facing now a Raiders defense. That's tough. Okay. This isn't going to be a cakewalk. And I still maintain Geno Smith and Pete Carroll are going to raise that organization to a level of professionalism. That's what they're there for. 2 years, I think. Raise the level of professionalism, and then they'll go get their franchise quarterback and yada, yada. This will not be an easy out for the Patriots. And a lot of people crowning them in the sense that a comeback, not that they're going to beat out the Bills. But Travion Henderson, I think, is going to have the most opportunity and chance for success, and he's so explosive. Like, the thing is, we know what Tracy is to a point. We got fresh legs out of Henderson. And especially early in the season, you get a bit of injury history, but early in the season, give me Henderson all day, baby. All day. We were going to get to some more fantasy questions as it goes. Yeah, Rick saying Giants D is good. Yeah, juiciest D to play against, Rick says, for Henderson. I'm totally there. Absolutely. And what are you saying, Griff? Henderson will be explosive, but Stevenson will get the short yards. Yes, that's a good point too. We cannot count out Ramondre Stevenson. in that as well. And that's why it's so difficult when it comes to fantasy football if you don't have the true RB1 who's going to get all the opportunities, because it's rare. Guy who is going to have that, somebody I got in 4 of my fantasy leagues, Ashton Giente of the Raiders, the other side of that. There's your... What do the Raiders have on offense? You got Brock Bowers, you got Ashton Giente. Giente's going to eat, and he's going to feast. And I hope he explodes. Hopefully a better debut than the other running back I'm heavily invested in fantasy, Omarion Hampton. Justin Herbert going bananas. I think he's going to be fine. But, man, Hampton going under 10 fantasy points was that one stung a little bit. That was a lot of fantasy draft capital invested on my end, and I hope he bounces back. I believe he will. I'm very bullish on him. Now, we get back to Browns, Bengals here, and I want to roll down some numbers for you. Okay? So, check this out. This has been, we all know the Bengals slow starters, right, under head coach Zach Taylor, but this has been a point of emphasis. This has been put in their media guide. This has been said in interviews. They have focused. They've changed the way they did their offseason. No joint practices. They wanted their starters to play more in preseason. They have a focus on getting off to a hot start. Reason being, Zach Taylor with the Bengals, his 1-5 record in game 1 is the worst among NFL coaches with at least 3 years on the job, and he's gone 0-2 in each of the past 3 seasons. Now, we know the Bengals can overcome, but they are hyper-focused on avoiding that. So that is a real issue. And you look at the Browns, though, 5.5 win team, and we'll talk to Johnny Avello, director of the Sportsbook at DraftKings, and this when he joins us in about 12 minutes. The Browns only 5.5. I put a bet on the over. I think this Browns team is better than people are giving credit for. I don't think that front line plus rookie Carson Schwarzenegger at linebacker is getting the respect that this defense deserves. Jim Schwartz has his best defensive tackle package and certainly best D-line in his 3 years in Cleveland. This is going to be a situation where this defense has to stay healthy and has to be dogs. They got to be aggressive. Here's the difference, okay? So we got Myles Garrett, of course, right? And we know you got your D-line. Myles Garrett comes in. Myles Garrett, by the way, 8 career sacks on Joe Burrow and lives rent-free in his head. Joe Burrow admits as much. Myles Garrett, hip injury was on the note. Looks like that's not going to be a problem. He ain't missing this game. This is where Myles Garrett has earned a large part of his very wealthy contract because of how he has played against Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. He's going to be playing a lot. Question is, you have Myles Garrett on the side. So Joe Burrow, they're going to be looking to get the ball out quick. On the other side, you got a nice rotation. Joe Tryon Shoyinka is the free agent sign out of Tampa Bay. His name's too long. This guy is going to be used rotation. I think he's going to have a big year. He's going to be third down, obvious pass, then pin back and go get him. He's not a drop back guy. Tampa Bay misused him. Then you got Alex Wright. You got Isaiah McGuire. But the key, those guys are on the outside. The key is the defensive punch in the middle, the breakthrough. That's what this team has been lacking. Dalvin Tomlinson over the past couple of years, nice player, more of a run gap stopper. Now you got weapons in there because the key to the Schwartz defense, and it worked so well with him in Philadelphia for years, was you get that front line, you got your stud edge rusher, and you got the tackles in between. Because, and Schwartz said this week to the Browns media, he said, easiest line to the quarterback is a straight line. And where's the straight line? It's not coming around the edge, right up the middle. And you got 5th overall pick, Mason Graham, who by all accounts has looked great, and he better be proven that. You gave up an absolute weapon in Travis Hunter. He's there. Malik Collins right beside him, sensational. Behind him in a rotation, Shelby Harris, eventually Mike Hall as well. You have a nice rotation. And those are 2 punchers. Plus Aiden Hutchinson, who we talked about on the show Tuesday, who just wowed everybody in preseason, also could be used as a fullback. So look for him to punch it. Because then Burrow's going to try to get the ball out quick. But if you have pressure coming up, who are you double teaming? You're going to double team Miles. Well, that's cool. Mason Graham, Malik Collins are going to come for you. You double team one of those guys. Miles is there. But you got to push Burrow back and avoid him from stepping up in the pocket. If we can have that happen and you push him back and then he can't step up, well, then all of a sudden Miles is right in his face. And you can mix and match as well. I think it's going to be a sensational matchup for the Browns here with that front four. Also, Denzel Ward getting a little lippy. I like it, but you better produce because Jamar Chase has had his worst games, especially in his rookie year, where he was rookie of the year. His worst games against the Browns. Joe Burrow has had his worst games. He's been sacked by no other team more than the Cleveland Browns. Ward has to be healthy, available, and lock down Jamar Chase because he was chirping. All right, man. He said, I want to be thrown at a lot today. You might get your wish because as much as we love the Browns and the defense, look, Joe Burrow, you cannot take that guy for granted. This guy's a baller. This guy is an absolute, and he has a plethora of weapons. We know what they are. You got Chase, you got Higgins, you got Gesicki at tight end, you got Yesevich as a riser, who I really liked a couple years ago as the third wide receiver. You got Chase Brown back there. There are a ton of weapons. So you got to if you can shut down Chase Brown or Jamar Chase, you're off to a real good start there. Real good start. So Denzel Ward, you want to be throwing that big boy? All right. My worry is Greg Newsome on the other side. Because remember, Martin Emerson out for the year. Greg Newsome, I think that's where we get picked. And if we talk about fantasy football options, not to say, no, look, I got Jamar Chase in one league in a keeper league. If you got Jamar Chase, you're playing Jamar Chase. If Ward is able to shut him down, which I hope he will, I will gladly, by the way, take the L in any fantasy situation if it means the Browns win in real life. I'm totally fine with that. But if you shut Chase down, then you got to worry about Higgins and the other weapons. And that's where the concern with Greg Newsome comes from. And that's where the uncertainty at safety, which is where the Browns sort of punted and puts even more emphasis on the front four plus Carson Schwessinger at linebacker. That front seven and kind of the 4-5 guys, that's where the Browns have to. You need pass breakups, interceptions, whatever, because of that front pressure. Because you do not want to be putting everything on that secondary, which has a lot of questions marks if your name isn't Denzel Ward. Straight up. Right? That's what it is there. Let's see here. And jump in the chat too. If you get your fantasy questions, betting questions, and let me know your best bets of the day. We'll be getting to those in a little bit. I got some more stats for you. Joe Burrow, 3-5 against the Browns all time. Per game averages against the Browns worse than his career numbers. He has his worst career numbers in completion percentages, in yards per game, and in passer rating, and in sack percentage. And for Joe Flacco, this is a case where, hey, he said he wants to play more ball. Everyone writing him off because he's 40. Well, he throws the ball better than anyone in camp and still one of the best deep balls in the business. Now, question is, last time we saw Joe Flacco in a Browns uniform, and really even last year with Indianapolis, was what about those interceptions? Because last time we saw Joe, that whole team didn't show up in Houston for the playoff game. Right? That's how it was. So when we look at Joe Flacco, he's fearless. We know the arm power is there. Can we limit the turnovers? And that's going to be in large part Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku. I expect to have a big day and big season. And we talked about the running backs. I think other guys to watch today. I love me some Cedric Tillman. Got me 2 Cedric Tillman rookie cards back there. Okay, I would love it. Isaiah Bond is a wild card. I think maybe, now that Raheem Sanders bet I said that plus 1,700, I absolutely love. I think if it's up, I'm going to look at this too. And Isaiah Bond, anytime touchdown, or I could picture first series. Just look, they're going to keep it simple for the speedster who they picked up, right? Second or third round grade, you got him for free. I could see them saying, all right, hey, Isaiah, run fast that way, really, really fast. And let's see if Joe can air it out to you, which I think he will. So I'm going to see right now if there's I hate with the apps. You got to log in every time. It says, yes, I'm fit to play. Yes. Good Lord. Okay, let's see here. And I'm taking the Browns to cover 5.5 minus 105, by the way. We'll build the parlay party after. Let's see what we got for the touchdown scores. Come on. Okay. Is there an Isaiah Bond? Let's see. Harold Fannin Jr. You guys know I love me some Harold Fannin Jr., but Raheem Sanders, now it's down to 1,500. I better get in on that. You know what? I'm going to get in on that now before that drops. Let's get in. Plus 1,500. Here we go. How about that? Boom. I think that's a smash bet, guys. I really do. That's given us great opportunity. Isaiah Bond is there. Plus 1,200 Isaiah Bond. Ooh, what if we did a little... Oh, that's juicy. Like if you put $2 on Isaiah Bond and Raheem Sanders anytime touchdowns. Ooh. You know what? Let's do it. Let's get nuts. That's plus 27,167. Who's with me? Let's start the parlay party right now. $1 bet gets us 271.68. Let's do it. Let's get nuts. Isaiah Bond and Raheem Sanders anytime touchdown. Pays out that 20 plus 27,000 odds. Let's freaking go. I'm pumped. I'm jacked. Who's ready? Let's see. Griff, you're saying, let's do it. Thunderwolf says, let's do it, baby. Come on. Double up. Raheem Rocket Sanders. Plus Isaiah Bond. And like Isaiah Bond might get 2 passes all game. One of them could be a bomb for a touchdown. You know, we'll see. Griff is saying, what's the weather in Cleveland? If sunny, I take the over. Ooh. Let's take a peek-see there, Griff. Let's see. I got 64 Fahrenheit, sunny, partly cloudy. Looks nice football weather. That looks pretty clean. I like that. We're looking nice and clean there. So I'm with you with the over. 47.5. I think the over 2. Cincinnati 5.5 point favorites. I think the Browns will win, but if you want to be safer, take the spread. I think they're going to cover that 5.5, and I think they're going to win outright. I would take the over Joe Flacco passing yards as well. I think it's set around 241. Flacco with the Browns last time with no training camp was through like 300-yard games. And they're probably going to have to keep up to a degree. So that's something else that we got to keep in mind of where this Browns team is going to be able to do. If the weather is fine, perfect airing it out, right? Okay, let's see. Other preview here. Myles Garrett sacked Joe Burrow 8 times in his career, has dismantled left tackles. Weakness for the Bengals. Left and right guard. Their tackle situation and center are good. Left and right guard are the weaknesses. That means that's where those defensive tackles we talked about really got to blast through. And that's going to create situational options, whether it's for Myles Garrett to succeed, whether it's for one of the other edges or the tackles themselves. And maybe you move around. We've seen Schwartz move around Garrett and everything before, right? Yeah, rookie Dylan Fairchild at left guard and veteran journeyman Lucas Patrick at right guard. That's the focus. You get those guys pushing back, and that's the pushback. Then Burrow can't step up. Then he pounce. Get on him. Yeah, there we go. You know what? My early prediction for the game, I'm saying Browns 31, Bengals 28. That gives us the over. That gives the Browns cover. That gives the Browns win. Who's with me on that? I think that's I'm totally fine with that. And it's beginning of the season, right? And I'm probably delusional to some degree as usual. Yeah, I'm just looking at the Andrew Siciliano play-by-play radio voice of the Browns. Looks overcast right now in Cleveland. Looks a little wet. But for game time, it's supposed to be dry and the sun's supposed to come out. So it looks, as of an hour ago, looks a bit rainy, but I don't think that's too big of a deal. Oh, Adam Schefter, Browns news. Browns rookie Quinshon Judkins scheduled to meet with the NFL this week about its investigation, but there is a real possibility and even likelihood, according to one source, that he will make his NFL debut next Sunday at Baltimore. Flacco in Baltimore against his old team and a fresh Quinshon Judkins, who you know has got to be amped up, pumped, and pissed off, ready to go. Give me some Quinshon. You want your fantasy team, people? Get your Quinshon. He's not playing today. You get yourself some Quinshon Judkins ready. You get him ready. Oh, Thunderwolf says on the score, Bond plus 1,400, Sanders plus 18. There you go. Hey, DraftKings Sportsbook, we're getting 12 on Sanders. 15 on Sanders and 1,200 on Bond. So get wherever you need to get to hop that in. So that's all. We're going to talk more Browns fantasy football questions. Get your questions in hashtag Ask Andy. We're going to be rolling through those after we welcome in our next guest, friend of show. He's back for another season with us. DraftKings Sportsbook Director. It is Johnny Avello from Las Vegas. Johnny, thanks for getting up early with us, sir. How are you?
Hey, Andy. It's not early for me. It's a big day for the sportsbook today.
That's right. Have you slept? Maybe it's late for you. I don't know with all the action coming in.
I've slept a little bit. Don't sleep much anymore, but get up early, try to get some quality sleep, and we know our spots, and today's one of them.
Oh boy! So how's the action been so far? First two games, of course, the NFL Thursday, Friday, all the excitement. I assume that there was just a ton of action coming in.
Yeah, those games were like record breakers for week one games. No surprise, more users, more states on board, and good quality matchups. Mm-hmm. And, the Friday night is certainly an added attraction now to the NFL slate. So you back up that big Thursday night game with a big Friday night game.
Yeah, you keep rolling. Let's talk a little bit about this, and we'll get into some futures as well. DraftKings Sportsbook, of course, has it all up for you. Browns, Bengals today, Cleveland at home. I mentioned Cincinnati has a 1-5 record under Zach Taylor in game ones. They've started 0-2 two of the last 3 years. Browns generally struggle. Cincinnati 5.5-point favorites, over under set 47.5. Where's the betting public coming in for Browns and Bengals here? Is there any action more towards the Browns, or what are we seeing?
There's actually good action on this game. Mostly both sides. They're taking a shot with the Browns on the money line. This 5.5 shows that they're not really sure what to do with this game. We know the Bengals can throw the football. They led the NFL last year. It's hard to believe this is Burrow's sixth season already. I was kind of shocked. I thought maybe he had 4, but it's 6. So time goes by pretty quickly. And this team is loaded with a bunch of receivers. On the Browns side, Joe Flacco's a little he's slow, but he can still throw the football.
Got the arm.
At some point, Shedeur Sanders is going to make his presence on this team. I don't know what week that's going to be, but this team there's a lot of promise here. Defensively, there's a promise. Offensive line, there's a lot of promise. I see good things for this team down the road.
And Sanders is interesting. He is in line to be the emergency third quarterback today, just as each team can elevate. So just as a heads up there, Dylan Gabriel, the backup, at least for now. Now let's look at some futures here, Johnny. And we got on the DraftKings Sportsbook, I'm just seeing here, AFC winner splits and the odds right now going into the season. This is the time to do your futures. I'm looking at the list, the top 10. Browns aren't even in consideration. The Jets plus 10,000. So I'm assuming you can get some huge money if you think the Browns are coming out of the AFC. But we look at the Bills plus 330 and the Ravens are the favorites. Kansas City Chiefs right behind them. Bengals plus 1,100. And it looks like a lot of the action's coming in on the Bills at 34% and the Ravens at 25%. What can you tell us about those trends and AFC possibilities?
I know you mentioned that, you don't think the Browns are getting any love here, but they really are.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, we're in some exposure with the Browns and the Giants and the Jets. Those teams are big odds, 300-400 to 1. And so it doesn't take a lot of money to put you in jeopardy. So we do have a lot of money on some of those high-priced teams. You mentioned the Bills, the Ravens, other teams taking money, Packers, a lot of money over the last week or so. Ever since, that acquisition, that's going to work out probably real well for them.
Yeah.
After the Chargers, after their win the other night, and they're betting teams like the Bengals and the Rams and some of these teams in the middle of the pack that are in the 20-25 range. The Lions are one of the top teams as far as money being bet for the entire year. But that started all the way back after the Super Bowl ended. This past Super Bowl between the Chiefs and the Eagles. Starting the next day, the Lions were a team that took a bunch of money. So that's the reason why we have some, high dollars on them.
Gotcha. Okay. And yeah, if we look at the NFC, you mentioned the Lions. Of course, the Eagles are going to be a decent odds still if you can get Philly to come out of the NFC plus 360 as long as Jalen Carter doesn't spit on anyone else, Johnny. That's got to be a little wrinkle that you can't account for on the sports book, right? A guy getting thrown off for hawking a loogie of gum on a guy, and that hurts overall. But decent money on the Eagles plus 360. 49ers, I don't want to touch with those injuries. But what about the Rams? Plus 1,000. It hinges on the back, literally, of Matthew Stafford and how healthy he is. But that Rams team at plus 1,000, if you want to take a little swing, veteran presence, they've done it not too long ago.
Yeah, the Rams have put a good quality team on the field the last couple of years when they weren't even expected to last year. So and so they're coached well. The division's real tough, Andy. It is.
It is.
The Cardinals are a team that maybe can make a little bit of noise there. The 49ers we don't know about. And I think Seattle also is a team that could be much better than we're thinking about. So, and they're 28-1. So I think there is some value out there once you get past that first spot.
Interesting. Okay. And we'll finish up with this. I love making the NFL MVP odds and, rookie of the year and all that. The NFL MVP odds right now, you got Joe Burrow playing today at plus 650, which I think with the weapons around and the way the defense is still a weakness for them and him going to have to produce, plus 650 is pretty sweet. And there's 27% of the bets are coming in on that percentage. Lamar Jackson, the usual suspects, Josh Allen plus 550, Lamar the same, Mahomes plus 700. Two interesting ones I want to throw by you. Jalen Hurts, who doesn't get nearly the respect I think he deserves in Philadelphia, plus 1,700. And the golden child of the NFL, they want to succeed. Travis Hunter, the two-way player, plus 15,000 on the DraftKings Sportsbook right now. What type of, not a lot of action coming in on that, but those are the type of odds would you might want to take a swing at right now, right?
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is a manageable quarterback. To be honest with you, I didn't think he would turn out to be this good of a pro, but he's in the right system. He plays within his game. He doesn't, do a lot of crazy things out there. He can run the football. He's got great receivers. So plus 1,700 is a good price. Mm-hmm. But the other guy you mentioned, he is being bet. He has been being bet at the entire time because he can play both ways. Now, whether he's going to be used both ways, that is another story.
Right.
And this is the thinking from the bettors. If you use a player like Hunter, both sides of the ball, and he does really well, how can he not be considered for MVP? But I don't think that's the way he's going to be used. I think he's going to be used mostly offensively. Mm-hmm. He's going to maybe see some defensive time, but I don't think it's going to go that way where he's playing both sides of the ball because that is so difficult to do in this day and age.
It is. And it could also come down to, Johnny, my thinking, look, exciting player, just from an entertainment standpoint. I hope he does well because that'd be really cool to see. But it's also could be can you be great at both? Or is it a case you're splitting yourself and you're not that good at either? Or you're split too much? Like there's so many different questions with this guy. But I'm with you. If he goes off and you have quarterbacks that are good, but the voting and he just overwhelms like, wow. And it looks like today word is out of Jacksonville. He'll play more receiver than on defense, but that's going to potentially switch week to week. That's a great price to throw a couple bucks on.
Yeah, one thing about Jacksonville is that this is not a throwaway year for them. Mm-hmm. This is a year with high expectations. Trevor Lawrence needs to do something else. He may not be there too much longer, but I see this team having a really good season. I think it's time for them. They may even win the division. It's time for them to show that everything they've done over the last couple of years is now coming to fruition.
Right. And you got, of course, that's an interesting division. Houston Texans with CJ Stroud year 3. I love CJ Stroud. I think he's in line for a big bounce back. But that battle between, like you said, a pretty much make or break year for Trevor Lawrence. They put a lot of pieces around him. It's going to be a really interesting storyline to follow. And of course, today, Browns versus Bengals. Johnny, we know on the DraftKings Sportsbook, you can make all the bets. There's some fun contests and stuff too. Tell people what they can do, what they can find.
Yeah, we have some promotions going out there. We have this one called the Lost. What I can't remember now, Andy. It's called the something leg and ghost leg, and that is a promotion we're running today. And I think they should take advantage of it. You have to opt in. If you bet any type of parlay with at least 3 teams and one of them loses, you win your bet. So it's something it's something that the bettors need to take advantage this is for week 1 only, so make sure you're in on the action today. It's called Ghost Leg. You'll see it on our app. You have to opt in to play it.
Interesting. Ghost Leg. Okay. Well, that seems like why not? Why wouldn't you do that, right?
Why wouldn't you?
That's okay. Johnny, we love having you on, buddy. Thank you so much. Enjoy week 1.
Okay. Thanks, Andy. Good talking to you.
There he goes, Johnny Avello, DraftKings Sportsbook Director. And of course, folks, and we're going to get to lots of fantasy football talk coming up in just a minute, just a moment. We're going to be getting to all that. But for the DraftKings Sportsbook, it is game on. Week 1 starts now, and every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. This isn't just football. It's first touchdown fireworks, anytime TD rushes, and live bets that ride every momentum shift. At DraftKings, every play is your next shot to win. So now, pay attention. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, grab over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. So your season starts now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 6sports. That's code 6sports to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more. Why wouldn't you? Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
There you go. Hope you got all that. Big thanks to Johnny Avello from Vegas. Oh, we're cooking today, people. All right. Now it's time. Before we get to the fantasy football, my guy in the chat, Nick Earnshaw from 97.3 ESPN, jumped in the chat and says, glad I could find it for you. I'm riding with Rocket today. That's the Raheem Sanders Browns bet. I was telling Nick, I was talking to Josh Henning on 97.3 ESPN yesterday, regular with him on Saturdays on his Henning with Henning show, that I wanted that Sanders. I couldn't find it. And now it is up. I got it at plus 1,500. Now, Nick, if you're still there, I put a separate bet on Raheem Sanders, but I also added in a little same game parlay there. Anytime touchdown for Isaiah Bond for the Browns, plus Raheem Sanders. A $1 bet pays out $271, like plus 27,000 something. You riding that? Who's riding that with me? Right? And how about that Ghost Leg promotion for DraftKings Sportsbook Johnny talked about? That's pretty cool. I want to try to give that a shot. All right. Fantasy football time. Get your questions in. Pop in the YouTube chat right now. Get your fantasy football questions in. You can do it on X as well. At SickPodBrowns, at AndyMC81. Pop it on Instagram too if you like, at AndyMC Sports. All right, let's get to hashtag Ask Andy. All right, let's pop it up. We'll start with Twitter. We'll start with X. Who do we got first there, producer Shane? We got Thunderwolf, our guy in there. What pieces in the Cincinnati-Cleveland game would you advise playing today for fantasy? Hashtag Ask Andy. Excellent questions as always, my man Thunderwolf. This is a case where for fantasy, if you got Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, you got to play him. I don't think this is going to be their best game because of the Browns defense, but you got to play him. And Jamar Chase is just, even if he has a bad game, you got to play your stars. Okay. Got to do it. Chase Brown, light him up. Mike Gesicki at tight end. We know how thin tight end is. If you have a Gesicki versus Njoku problem, I think we go with Njoku. Jerry Jeudy for sure. You got to pop him in there. For the Browns, the running back side is, boy, man, like Sampson and Ford, I think it's just going to be too much of a committee for fantasy purposes today. I think we're just going to be a little too strung out, and goal line wise, Raheem Sanders. So again, I'm not saying betting wise, we're going to put a couple bucks on Raheem Sanders anytime tutty, but fantasy wise, like he'd have to get 2 touchdowns to be relevant. And I'm not banking on that. I just need 1 for that to pay off. All right. So those are the pieces there. You know, kicker too, right? You can go with the Cincinnati kicker. He's been money. And if the Browns defense is doing well, maybe you get a little more opportunity on the kicking side. So a little under the radar pickup there. If you need a kicker, you get the Bengals kicker and get them in. Defense, I think it's going to be a high scoring game. So maybe fade the defense of the DST for both these teams. But yeah, Judy and Njoku for sure. Hey, for DFS, maybe you get a little Joe Flacco in there. Get a good price. DraftKings Sportsbook, you're doing some DFS. You put Flacco in at a cheaper rate than Burrow. I think Flacco's going to get you 300 yards. I'd take the over on his yards too. I think they're around 241 and a half. And you do that. So there you go. Okay, what do we got next, Shane? What do we got? We got our guy, Michael Pagano. Oh, Michael, love you, buddy. At Michael Pagano 71 on Twitter. Half-point PPR, have to start 2 wide receivers. Jerry Jeudy, Stephon Diggs, Chris Olave, Jacoby Myers. Okay. Hashtag Ask Andy. Now for Vegas, the weapons are Brock Bowers first, and then a 1B, Ashton Giente. Jacoby Myers is the top receiver. Man, like, I guess Gino's going to throw to him, but Jacoby Myers on a good team is a fringe WR3. Like, and he's going to be the top guy. I'm saying no to Myers. Chris Olave, he should be the top receiver. Are we trusting Spencer Rattler? Now, is it a case where Olave is going to be so good he needs to get the ball? Like, I can't trust Spencer Rattler, guys. And remember, you're without Taysom Hill. That does help overall the team because you don't have, remember what he did to the Browns last year. Taysom Hill running all about screwing up fantasy points. Chris Olave, if you didn't have the top 2 options, I would be nervous, but I'd put in. But we're definitely going with Jerry Jeudy and Stephon Diggs. Diggs, WR1. You got young Drake May, right? The Patriots try to improve the offensive line a bit. You have a real nice complement running game. Randy Oscar's in the house. Let's go, Andy. Let's go. Let's go, brother. Jump in the chat, folks, too. Jump in. Let me know your best bets and all that. So we're going to go, Michael, we're going to go Jeudy. We're going to go Diggs, and we're going to feel real good about it. I think that is a nice, smart play. And you got 2, because what do I always say? Opportunity equals success in fantasy football. You got 2 WR1s with 2 quarterbacks that can throw the ball in games where you should be able to throw the ball. So Jeudy and Diggs. Okay, let's get to another one here. Hashtag Ask Andy. We got from UFAFL, Gesicki or Njoku at tight end for Bengals Browns. I think both potentially could eat, but Njoku has, like I told you on the show, guys, David Njoku for Cleveland has been, the word I use is giddy since Joe Flacco returned. He is giddy. He is attached at the hip. He's posted videos. They're driving around in golf carts together. National anthem, he's linking arms with them. They are on the same page because Njoku knows Joe Flacco brought out the very best in Njoku in their time together in 2023 in his career. And Njoku knows Flacco equals payday for David Njoku. So Njoku, for sure, against a Bengals defense that can be exposed, right? Now, the Bengals D, the front line, I think, is being a little underrated. So Flacco's going to have to get out the ball quick. I hope Stefanski puts some, David Njoku just over the middle, right? Nice little down and in. Keep it simple. Try to expose some of those linebackers. Let's go Njoku there. But if you're in another situation and you need a tight end, Gesicki isn't bad. We know the Browns historically struggle against tight ends. So, but this year you got Carson Schlesinger, and maybe it's not as easy as it was in the past. So I love Schlesinger. We got YWC Football Talk. We got Griff. No Gonzo. Myers may be the play. You like Jacoby? I don't know, man. I like me some Geno Smith. I think it's going to be. I have Geno in 2 QB leagues. I have Geno as my number 2. I think he could be sneaky good quality wise, nice and steady. But man, I don't know. I'm thinking. I'm just nervous about going with Jacoby Myers, like a guy who's a number 3 at best as your number 1 with Bowers, with Giente, who I personally really need to have a great fantasy day. Because in all my drafts this year, for whatever, I was like picking 6 to 12. Like I was bottom half. So I got Giente was sitting there for me in all those. So I took him. I'm bullish. I think Giente all day. We know we're starting him, but Cincinnati should be absolute money. Now we had a fantasy question, I believe, earlier I wanted to get to. Or did we go over that one? I'm trying to go up and see. Where is it there? I think there was one earlier, right at the start of the show, Shane, if you can look at the chat and scroll up. I think we had one, an extra one there. I want to get to all of that there for you guys. But for me, you know what? Let me ask you guys this. I got a trade offer in one of my sleeper leagues, okay? Now, I know which way I'm leaning, but I want to throw it at you guys, okay? It's PPR. I have Travis Etienne and Kyle Pitts. I have Kyle Pitts as like, in this league, it's a keeper. I got like 5 tight ends. It's a dynasty, right? So I can afford to lose Kyle Pitts. And plus, Kyle Pitts has been infuriating over many, many seasons, it seems like. I see Kyle Pitts on the David Njoku track, like all the athleticism in the world, that is so inconsistent and needs the QB to bring him out. Is Michael Penix Jr. the guy to do that this year for Pitts? Perhaps. That's why I got a share of him, keeping him on the bench, waiting to see how it goes. But I got Travis Etienne and Pitts. I'm being offered to give up them for Stephon Diggs of the Patriots and Nick Chubb. I think this guy's trying to pull on my Nick Chubb heartstrings a little bit. So my other running backs are Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones. So I'm older in this one. And then on the bench, I got Miles Sanders, who, no good. I got Jordan Mason of Minnesota, handcuffed for now. I got Tootin for Jacksonville. So I got the handcuff to Etienne. Ray Davis for Buffalo. So there's a bunch of, backup guys. Stuff has to happen for things to go. And my other tight ends, I got Ertz, Pitts, Fannin for the Browns, who I love. David Njoku, I got starting. I got Tucker Kraft in the flex also. So I like my wide receivers, Jamar Chase, Ladd McConkey, Terry McLaurin. I would love Stephon Diggs, pop him into the flex spot in place of Kraft. But I'm wondering with the running back side, Nick Chubb, is he explosive? Didn't sound like it. He's splitting number one carries with Dameon Pierce. Do I give that up for Travis Etienne, who has his own? You got Bigsby in the back. You got Tootin there. He has his own possible problems. So the deal is I get Stephon Diggs and Nick Chubb for Travis Etienne and Kyle Pitts. What do you guys think? Let's see. Okay. Give me your thoughts on that trade, guys. One more time. I got Stephon Diggs and Nick Chubb to me, Travis Etienne and Kyle Pitts, I give up. The Nick Chubb thing makes me nervous based on my thinness at running back to give up Etienne, but if you guys got any thoughts, let me know. We got in the chat. Let's see. Oh, Rick's got Thunderwolf has a bet. Bring this up, Shane. Got a bet for 3 tutties. Williams for Denver. Collins for Houston. Ingram for double Denver and a Houston. $5 for 115. Woo! Don't mind that. Williams makes me a little nervous. I'd rather maybe pop in a little Sutton. You'd lower your odds, of course, but that's interesting. Henderson TD, yep. Yeah, Stevenson could steal some. And it's probably going to be some committee, right? So you got Bijan and Bucky there. Oh, Williams for Detroit. Oh, Jameson Williams for Detroit, who also signed an extension today, so he's going to be jacked. Okay, you got me interested there. Yeah, I would do that. 5 for 115. That's pretty good. Detroit in Chicago sort of spooked me a little bit for fantasy-wise because of distribution, and there's so many mouths to feed. A little bit with Green Bay too, although I am bullish on Matthew Golden. That's where it gets tricky. You got so many possibilities. Who gets the ball? Are you guessing? Are you not? What does that come in? I want to get to, we're going to build this live. Let's do our parlay party. We're going to start the party right now. Great opening show too, guys. You guys bring it as always. Love you guys. Let's build our ultimate ticket for Sunday. Okay. So we're going to go. I'm going to build this live. Come on. Stupid thing keeps making you sign back in. Says you're fit to play. Does anyone say not fit to play? Is anyone going to go in and be like, I don't know. Yeah, you know what? Probably shouldn't. No. Of course you're going to go in either if you're not. Good to have it though, of course. Whatever. All right. Let's build this sucker out. I'm looking, and we can pick for any of we can do over under. We can do spread. We can do money line. Let's start. Steelers, Jets. Steelers, I don't think are going to be very good, but Justin Fields and the Jets are definitely not good. And I don't know why more people aren't talking about how bad this Jets team could. I think their defense is going to keep them close. But Justin Fields has put nothing together in his NFL career to show you that he can do that. Thunderwolf saying I should keep Pitts. Okay. We're going under. Ooh, under 37.5, Griff, for Steelers Jets. I'm with you. Let's do it. Minus 110. Okay, that's where we're going that game. Raiders, Patriots, 2.5-point favorites for the Pats. I think Patriots win this with Vrabel. I do. I'm going to go Patriots. Minus 142. We're going to be doing a big ticket, so we can take a little hit here and there. Get out of here. There we go. Okay. Patriots. Browns, Bengals. I'm going to take Browns to cover that 5.5. That's what I'm putting down. Browns to cover 5.5. Giants, Commanders. Commanders 6.5-point favorites. And at first it's like, well, the Giants, Russell Wilson, packages for Jackson Dart. But the Giants defense is really good. And this is a second year for Jane Daniels. I think Commanders win it outright. 45.5, that might be an underplay. But I'm going to say Commanders. You think Giants to cover the 6, Griff? Giants to cover the 6.5. Minus 118. Ooh. You know what? We can put that on yours. I'm going to do Commanders minus 290. I know. But we're going to build like 15 legs, so we're going to cover that up. Panthers, Jags. 4.5. This is a spooky one. Because the Panthers stink, but the Jags have a lot to prove and have done nothing to really give you any confidence, right? And what does Travis Hunter do? I think Jags with the dub. Divisional game, high spread. Ooh, always go with the dog. So you think Panthers minus 115 at 4.5? Yep, that's not bad. Colts, Dolphins. You got Colts, Danny Dimes at home. Mike McDaniel could be on the hot seat for Miami. Early in the season, though, we can get plus money. Dolphins plus 106. We're going to be betting again. I'm going to take Dolphins plus money. I'm not trusting Daniel Jones. Come on. Buccaneers, Falcons. Division game. Bucks only minus 1.5. I think that's criminal. I'm going to take Bucks to cover 1.5. You get minus 102 instead of a straight up winner. Come on, Bake. I think Baker's taking that, huh? New little extension for Bake. Let's go. Cardinals, Saints. We're going to take Cardinals straight up. I have them in a survivor pool too. 6.5 Saints. You know, you're traveling. Maybe Saints get a little cute, but Cardinals, no problem. 49ers, Seahawks. I want you guys to weigh in on this. Okay, Christian McCaffrey, for fantasy purposes, looks like he will play. Was running around on the sidelines. How long does he stay healthy? You know, Seahawks, do you believe in Sam Darnold in a different location? I personally do not. Give me the 49ers. Give me the 49ers. Ooh, against the spread, Griff. The Saints are so bad. I understand what you're saying, though. And the Arizona's not world beaters. Niners by 3. Yeah, I think Niners take it. Titans, Broncos. I think the Titans are going to be a bit better than teams think. That 8.5 is jumping out at me for the Titans to cover. I don't think they're going to win. But Cam Ward, Sean Payton will take the Broncos to win here. But I think you could take the Titans to cover at minus 105, depending what you're looking at. Texans and Rams. 3 points. As long as Matthew Stafford's back is healthy, I'm going to go Rams at home. I think the Texans and CJ Stroud are going to be greatly improved. We're going to go that. Lions, Packers. Where are we at, guys? You're staying away from Tennessee, Denver. Yeah. Could be a sneaky little trap game. Lions and Packers. I'm getting a feeling I'm not trusting Jordan Love. And Micah Parsons, they said he will play, but they don't know how much. He's getting shots and he's getting needles in his back. Doesn't know how much they're going to play. I think Lions take it at Lambeau. Straight up. We're getting plus money on the Lions. And it's only 1.5. I'll take the plus money on Detroit. And 2 more to go. Yeah, I'm with you, Griff. Lions. Ravens, Bills. Bills, home dog. Josh Allen, reigning champ. Let's go. I think Bills outright. I can't bet on the Ravens. They could win. We could also look at the over-under 50.5. Do we maybe like the over or the under? Yeah, I kind of want to stay away from that Ravens-Bills one too. And Monday, we'll swing back if we need to. Vikings at Bears. Do you trust J.J. McCarthy? Do you trust a revamped Bears team? New offensive line. Vikings, 1.5-point dogs. Division game again. I think Bears. I think Bears home winners. What do we think? Any interest? Ravens, Bills, 1.5. Over, under. I don't know if it's worth it. We have a 13-leg ticket. Let's do something on it. What do we want? Da Bears, I'm with you. Ravens, Bills, what do we want? Yeah, I'm totally with you. I have zero faith in J.J. McCarthy. None. Even if it is a system that quarterbacks are friendly in. Ravens, Bills, do we want money line, spread, or over under? Both defenses are good too. Bills straight up. Oh, let's freaking do it. 14-leg. Bills to win at home. Oh, baby. Plus 205. No. Yes. Oh, my gosh. Woo! Plus 205532 plus 205,532. $1 bet wins you $2,055. $10, we're over 20 grand. 14-legger. Who's with me, baby? Come on. Thunderwolf, you know it. $1. We got all 14. Let's do it. $1, 14 legs. Boom. Beautiful. There we are. And official Browns game prediction. Browns 31, Bengals 28. Browns get off to a good start. I think it's going to be a great game. Myles Garrett and that D-line has a nice day. Denzel Ward limits Jamar Chase. And we got our anytime touchdowns for Raheem Rocket Sanders. And hopefully some Isaiah Bond too. Double up on that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, boy. Bet along. Let me know. Hey, you got any other fantasy questions leading up to kickoff? Don't worry about it. If you didn't get it in the chat, hit me up on X. Give us a follow at SickPodBrowns, at AndyMC81. Use hashtag AskAndy. Instagram and TikTok too, at AndyMC Sports. I'll have my post-game reaction for however this Browns game goes out. Hopefully happy and cheering. We'll have that, so follow along on all those. Let me know your big bet wins. Make sure you're clicking subscribe. Share the show. Love having people in the chat. Makes it so much more fun. Have people in the chat. Subscribe. Notifications on. Share the show. Thank you to DraftKings Sportsbook Director from Las Vegas, Johnny Avello, for jumping in. To all of you in the chat and watching and listening, we appreciate you. Post-game reaction coming up. Be back on Tuesday for Under the Wire. Waiver Wire is back for another year. Fantasy football talk and Browns conversation as well. For producer Shane, I'm Andy McNamara. And as always, go Browns!
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.